Ever wondered how a game as exciting and globally popular as basketball came into being? Picture this. It's a chilly December in 1891. Dr. James Naismith, a young physical education teacher in Massachusetts, is facing quite the challenge. He's got a rowdy class of students, a harsh winter outside, and the daunting task of keeping them all occupied indoors. So, what does he do? He invents a game. Yes, you heard it right. Naismith, armed with nothing but his wit and a ticking clock, comes up with a simple yet ingenious solution, a game that we now know as basketball. But the story doesn't end there. This game had a twist. From soccer balls being tossed into peach baskets to a set of rules that might leave you scratching your head, basketball's beginnings were anything but ordinary. And thus, basketball was born in a humble gymnasium with a very unusual set of rules. Could you ever imagine playing basketball with peach baskets as hoops? Well, that's exactly how it started. Picture this, a rowdy group of young students in a small gym, a soccer ball flying through the air, and two peach baskets fixed on opposite ends of the balcony. But here's the catch. These baskets still had their bottoms. Every time the ball swooshed through, it was game on pause. Someone had to clamber up a ladder and retrieve the ball before the game could resume. Imagine the laughter, the playful banter, the friendly jostling, as everyone waited for the ball to be retrieved. This wasn't just a game, it was a spectacle. A community event that brought everyone together, the thrill of the throw, the anticipation as the ball soared through the air, the collective cheer when it landed in the basket. It was a riot of laughter and chaos. The game wasn't just a physical activity, it was a riot of laughter and chaos. The original rules of basketball will have you questioning everything you know about the game. So let's take a trip down memory lane to the late 19th century, when Dr. Naismith was drafting the rules of this new game. The original list consisted of 13 rules, some of which would seem quite peculiar by today's standards. For instance, dribbling wasn't part of the game at all. Instead, players were allowed to bat the ball towards their teammates or the goal. But running with the ball was a strict no-no. Moreover, tackling was a normal part of the game, making it feel like a strange hybrid of rugby and keep-away. Imagine basketball players tackling each other on the court with no free throws, no three-pointers, just a simple game of passing and shooting. The game has evolved dramatically since then, but these quirky beginnings are what make the history of basketball so fascinating. Just imagine a basketball match where tackling players is the norm. From a small gym in Springfield to being a global sensation, basketball's journey is nothing short of remarkable. The game's meteoric rise began with the soldiers of the First World War. As they traveled the globe, they took with them the joy of this simple yet captivating game, sharing it with their comrades and communities far and wide. But it wasn't just the soldiers who played a role in basketball's global popularity. From the royal courts of Europe to the bustling streets of Tokyo, the sport found admirers and players in the most unexpected places. Kings and queens, students and workers, men and women, young and old, all fell in love with the game. Basketball became a universal language, a bridge connecting different cultures and generations. The game that started with a soccer ball and peach baskets had transformed into a global phenomenon. And that's how a simple game invented to keep a class occupied became a worldwide phenomenon. But like any good story, the tale of basketball's birth is shrouded in mystery. As we've journeyed through this peculiar history, a few questions remain unanswered. For instance, why peach baskets? Of all things, why were these the chosen goals? Was it a matter of convenience or was there something special about them? Then there's the curious case of the original rule sheet. What happened to it? Did it disappear into thin air, or is it hidden away in a dusty attic waiting to be discovered? The intrigue is enough to make any history buff's heart race. And perhaps the most intriguing question of all, did Naismith ever imagine NBA superstars and slam dunks? Could he have foreseen the global phenomenon his creation would become? Complete with towering athletes, high-flying acrobatics, and million-dollar contracts? These are questions that might never be answered, but they add to the charm and intrigue of the game we all love.